I feel a little intimidated as well. I am a parent in Lancaster, New York. I'm not a teacher, I'm not a superintendent or principal. I'm an RN. I have a degree in Bachelor of Science, which I sometimes struggle with too in helping my children with their homework. Funny thing. My husband and I have 3 boys, 9, 6, and 3. And I just wanted to start with the comment that Arnie Duncan made to a group of state school superintendents. He says he finds it fascinating that some of the opposition to the Common Core state standards has come from, and I quote, white suburban moms who all of a sudden their child isn't as brilliant as they thought they were. Doesn't really make sense, that statement. And their school isn't quite as good as they thought it was. That is truly an appalling, not to mention, racist and sexist remark coming from the Secretary of Education of our state. This to me demonstrates a true disconnect and disrespect from Mr. Duncan and shows just how out of touch government is in regards to local level education. I attended a very informative educational summit, the Partnerships for Smarter Schools in Buffalo at Kleinhans, which there were 2,500 people in attendance. People of all color were there. Mothers and fathers were present. This white suburban mom was present. And while I want my children to succeed, the priority in our home is always do your best, enjoy school, and we will always be proud of you. People have left New York State in hopes of having a better life and more employment opportunity to only return to New York State because of our excellence in education. The government manufactured a crisis with manipulated data, and the unmanipulated data proved that. Our local school district of Lancaster was improving its numbers and had success before Race to the Top and Common Core state standards were started. I could go on for hours of the problems and defects of the current educational reform. Many already have. I would instead like to present to you observations we have made in our district as parents, educators, and healthcare professionals. Children are becoming defeated. Children are becoming disengaged. Children are becoming depressed. Children are becoming more anxious. Children are losing their self-worth. Children are regressing. And children are being left behind. These are the truths of the children that are overwhelmed by countless test prep and assessments. These are the truths of those children that cannot be helped by their teachers simply because there's not enough time nor resources. What about the children that are gifted, that are so overwhelmed, like they said, about double workload, that they can't take it anymore and think of taking their own life? Yes, there have been children that thought that and have been admitted to the hospital. This curriculum narrows and creates a one-size-fits-all approach to education. Every child is a unique individual and learns at a different pace. Experts have stated the curriculum, especially in the younger, more vulnerable ages, is a developmentally inappropriate curriculum. It is a program that goes beyond their prefrontal cortex development. I ask you, why is this okay? Why do we accept this flawed curriculum? More rigor? Rigor. Rigor is defined as a difficult and unpleasant condition or experiences. Strictness or severity, a harsh or cruel act. This is not a word I want attached to my child's curriculum. These state assessments demonstrated this very definition by making 8, 9, 10-year-olds sit there for 90 minutes and special needs doubling that time for 6 days, taking tests that were above their level of educational ability. This is child abuse in my mind. The fact is, we adopted the Common Core standards and its assessments sight unseen to ensure race to the top funding, taxpayer money, mind you, during a recession. No one looked at its validity, and no one saw the lack of transparency and accountability. But we do now. Thousands upon thousands of educators, administrators, healthcare professionals, and parents report those concerns daily. The Board of Regent Lester Young Jr., who was in attendance at the Poughkeepsie meeting with Commissioner King, stated it best. He stated that all good ideas live and die by execution. We want to hear how it's going in the field. Really? Who is listening? Not the commissioner, not the New York State Education Department, and not the governor. They do not want to admit they made a mistake. The government suspended the healthcare exchange because they saw mistakes and flaws. We've had many apologies from the president. Why are we not doing the same with something as important as education? The very thing that is shaping the future of America. They need to admit there are flaws and work with the local educators as they all stand up and share their concerns. Why are we not listening to all these professionals in the business of education? Bill Gates said it himself. We will not know if this curriculum will be beneficial for possibly 10 years. My children and your children don't have 10 years. They will never get these precious years back. This is why I will not vote for anyone who supports the substandard curriculum, nor anyone who does nothing to help fix it. All assessments should be designed by the New York educators at the local level that have proficiency levels based on a raw score and set prior to the administration of the test and be available to educators, children, and families immediately after it is given. This is the only way teachers and parents can measure the strengths and weaknesses of the child. Tests that are developmentally inappropriate, sealed, and that makes teachers sign affidavits to not discuss with anyone are not tests I will allow my children to take. They will refuse these tests. And they will refuse these flawed and invalid assessments every year until they're gone. I urge you all to visit the classrooms and talk with the teachers and listen to the concerns of the parents of how these standards and assessments are proving to be harmful to our children. We need your support in proposing bills and support in telling the New York State Education Department and the governor we need change now. We need to get testing right and bring back local control in our schools. All of these innocent little lives depend on it.